Hi, my name is Patrick Rodriguez, and this is my Changemakers story. So, my work with the Georgia Coalition for Higher Education in Prison really stemmed from my personal experience of being a part of the prison system. I did 5 years total here throughout different prisons in the Georgia Department of Corrections. And one thing that I noticed is I went to 5 different facilities, and there was only one opportunity to get 3 college credit hours. When I came home, my intention was to continue to complete my education at Kennesaw State University, and I quickly found a group of people that were convening to expand prison education. And the nice thing was that they supported me in that journey. And throughout that journey, I stepped into a point of leadership and started to co-lead the coalition with Dr. Thomas Fabizak. But really thinking back on my experiences, I didn't understand what I was going through at that time. But what it did is it led me to understand that there are opportunities that are needed at different facilities throughout the state of Georgia for people to pursue a meaningful college education. My personal path has inspired me on how I show up to do this work, and I want to start with an example of the class that I took while I was in prison, where I was able to get 3 college credit hours. Berry College and Dr. Sarah Allred worked at Floyd County Prison. And I remember going there and hearing about the class just through a flyer in the dorm room. And I thought to myself, wow, this would be really cool because I'd be able to continue my college education. And after I had dropped out, my college education was on pause. And I really didn't know what I was going to do when I was going to come out of prison. I was wrestling with the question inside of my head, what is it going to be like being a person with a felony on his record? All I knew is that this opportunity was something that I wanted to partake in. So I signed up and I took the class. And at the end of the first class, I talked to Dr. Allred and I asked her, I said, Dr. Allred, I feel like this is meant for me, but I'm also just not sure. I'm wrestling with what all of this means. And she said, Patrick, I want you to be a student. I want you to study. I want you to do your homework. I want you to do your readings, and I want you to stay focused on that. It wasn't until I took a moment to reflect on that I started to understand that I was able to shed my identity as a convict, an inmate, a drug dealer, a drug user, and a felon. And I was simply a student. So every time I stepped into that class, I came prepared to read, I came prepared to do my work, and I came prepared to show up how I knew I could show up when I prepared to pass my classes. So now, fast forward, when I rethought about that story, I remembered one significant part. And that part was the sign-up sheet. When I went to sign up for that class, there was only 10 spots available, but that paper had signatures on the front and back. So even though all the spots were taken, people were still signing up to try and get in the class. And so what that led me to know was that there was an opportunity and there was hunger for people that were currently incarcerated that didn't have the same opportunity that I did. So now as I look to lead this work, I think to myself about what if all of those people on that paper could have taken the class? Would they have reoffended? Would they be back in prison? Would they have been released early? Would they have been able to connect with their children in a different kind of way? I can't answer that question, but what we do here at the Georgia Coalition for Higher Education in Prison is we work to create more opportunities so more people can sign up to access a college education. I was released from prison December 19th of 2019. So I'm coming up on exactly 4 years of coming home. And in the past 4 years, I've been able to work in collaboration with universities, prison systems, formerly incarcerated people, educators, all to come together to create an ecosystem of success and to build pathways for people who want to pursue an education and who need assistance whenever they're going through their reentry journey. And I named that because coming home and being able to do those things in 4 years is not a feat of my own. It is a testament to what community can do whenever we work and surround not just one person, but a collective idea and vision. And the vision that we have for the state of Georgia here is that we want to see a college education, a college degree program in every prison across the state. There's 26 state system schools and there's 32 facilities. If my math is correct, and I think that there are some schools that are going to do more than one facility, we can cover every single prison here in the state of Georgia. I think that we have a long way to go, but I'm always one to believe in hope and change. Because if we're not believing and holding on to what can be, then we're going to stay stuck in what is, and we're never going to realize our true potential as a people. Okay, so I would like to take a moment to speak directly to people who have lived experience, people who have been impacted by the criminal justice system. When I was locked up and I was in prison, I had no idea that I was going to be here today. I had no idea that I was going to be the co-executive director of the Georgia Coalition for Higher Education in Prison. I had no idea that I was going to be able to finish my college degree. I had no idea that I was going to be able to mend the relationships that I have with my brother. I had no idea where my life was going to be. And I'm not going to tell you that I planned it out and everything worked perfectly. But what I am going to say is that sometimes times are dark and it's difficult to see the light ahead. But it's also important to know that there is a glimmer, and that glimmer of hope is what you should hold on to, no matter how dark you feel the times are around you.